Well, good evening, everybody, and we want to welcome you to Speed Networking for today, August 19th. Tonight is going to be a great night for Speed Networking, and I just want to talk to you a little bit about the types of people that you might meet or during Speed Networking, or when you meet people tonight, how you can help the people that you meet. So one of the first ways that we talk about with Speed Networking, how you can help somebody else, is that you might be a potential client. So you might be able to buy the goods and services that the person is here to talk about. The second way that you could help somebody tonight when you're speed networking is by being a potential supporter. You might not buy their products or services, but you could support them in what they do. Maybe you could help them find the products and services that they need or something like that. The third way is that you could become a referral partner for them. So it might not be that you would be a client for them, but you might be able to refer somebody to them for the products or services that they're selling. Fourth way is that you could be a collaborator, and hey, you might not be able to buy their products or services, but maybe you could collaborate with them to provide another product or service. And the last way is that you could be an influencer. And I love this category of influencer because that's when you're kind of like, I'm an Oprah Winfrey and I'm going to just tell everybody about your products or services. So isn't that a great kind of person that you could be for somebody else in speed networking tonight? So I want to introduce to you everybody else that's on the screen for you tonight. There's myself, Julie, and Sterling, and Linda. And we have come together because we are collaborators together. So that's one of the ways that we see that we can help one another, is that collaborating. And I'll talk a little bit more at the end about some ways that we are collaborating together. But tonight's topic that we're going to talk about mostly is about purpose and significance. And maybe I just want each of us to share, and we'll start first with Linda and then Sterling, but just share a little bit about our journey and and what you think about when you think about purpose and significance, and how that's come about in your life. So Linda, maybe tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do, and then how purpose and significance, like what that means to you.
Thank you, Julie. Hi, Sterling. I'm really happy to be here, especially considering the topic of purpose and significance. It is probably one of the most important things that has fulfilled my life right now. I am a personal growth coach, and focusing on purpose is a big way to help you grow. I do believe that in order for you to find purpose and significance in life, you first need to believe that you were born for a purpose. So most of us know that what we like to do, what we want to do, but do we believe that's our purpose? What were we designed to do? What were we born to do? A lot of people find that early in life, and a lot of us are late bloomers, and we go through a lot of different phases and a lot of different stages in our life before we actually discover what our purpose is. And I don't believe that purpose is a task where you complete something and then you have found your purpose and then that's the end. I believe that your purpose is a journey. I think it travels with you through life. I think your purpose can change. And for me, having that desire to find my purpose and to bring significance into my life and into others all started when I realized that my dad was sick and he was going to die. And I realized that I reviewed his life, as I'm sure he did, as to what did he bring to the world and what was he leaving behind? What were people going to say about him after he was gone, or like at his funeral? What were people going to talk about? They remembered about him. What was significant? What did he bring into their life? What did he mean to them? And for me, that's what triggered all of this, wanting to have a purpose and wanting to bring significance into my life and into others and to add value. And I started to think about, well, what do I want people to say about me when I'm gone? What do I want them to say about me now while I'm still here? And having that as my focus, that's how I move forward through all my storms, through all my struggles, is to find the purpose and the significance in what I'm living, be intentional about looking for those moments and those opportunities to have significance. And I think in doing that, you look towards your purpose and what you're meant to accomplish. And when you find it, when you know that this is something at this time in your life, that this is your purpose, that's when you really feel that now I have significance in my life. And that's my journey.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. It's interesting how some stages in life, like when your father was passing, it causes you to reflect a lot on what really life is about. So Sterling,
Absolutely.
yeah, Sterling, tell us a little bit about your story.
Well, first of all, I like what Linda said, and I think it's very true in the fact that purpose and significance is a lifelong journey. And one of the things I find when we talk about purpose and significance is understanding that we may be living in that purpose and significance right now, but one of the issues that come with it, and I've seen this in a few different roles I've played, being a helper role or being a, not the prime role, and thinking I had no purpose, it was a boss, it was someone else that, gets the glory out of it, and glory is not the word, but, they have the purpose. And then when I took on more leadership roles, I started to really look at the fact that if I didn't have those working with me to do their job, I couldn't complete mine, which had a greater purpose in I worked in healthcare, so in the healthcare, in the lives of others. But each person in that stream had a purpose. And I know talking to some of them, they would have never believed that what they did counted. And so when I go back, when I talk to them and, talked about the little bits about what you did here really helped. And it might have been 10 seconds in time, or it might have been hours in time that they had to devote to the care of an individual or to a project that they didn't believe touched the patient, like in the hospital. And the funny part of that, and of course, I had the privilege to sit in on, and one of the maintenance people that worked within the hospital said, well, we really don't count. And now my role was looking after direct patient care, managing in that. And I had to tell them very clearly, if you didn't do your job, we could not complete what we do. We could not give the patients the care they need. Because your purpose is, is huge. And so when we look at life, yes, we've got to have purpose, and we do all have a purpose. But the other part of it is to go back and actually figure out, or to realize how our purpose fits into the bigger picture. There's a story that comes from one of the readings I've had. As a president was going through NASA, when the space race was on, and he asked the janitor, what do you do? The first janitor said, well, I sweep. I just sweep the floor. I'm a janitor here. I collect a paycheck. The second janitor said, I help put a man on the moon, because the work I do here helps the next level up, which helps the next level up, and just works its way through. And so and I know Julie's going to talk about, and Linda going to talk about in a bit, an upcoming mastermind talking about purpose. And purpose isn't only designing our own purpose, but realizing that we're probably living a purpose right now and not really grasping it. And coming to the point where many people, especially younger people, but many people don't feel self-worth. But once you go through that purpose discovery, you realize, you have self-worth, and you have purpose, and you're living a purpose. And, it would be just really cool if during something like the mastermind that's coming up, that people can look back and say, wow, I do have a reason. It may be for, what most would think as an insignificant role, but there is a purpose there, and it's amazing. Okay, I'm going to, one more little bit. The one thing I am dealing with, the number of people I have in my life, I'd ask the question, so what do you do for a living? And this one just drove me nuts. Absolutely drove me nuts. I'm just a mother. Now, for all the mothers out there, I think, what greater purpose is there? But, thinking that this is a stay-at-home role where you're just dealing with, kids and wiping snotty noses and stuff. those snotty noses may be the next prime ministers or senators or major world leaders. You've got amazing purpose. And one is to discover that you do have a purpose. And then the other is to discover is what is the bigger purpose that you're going to get from what you do. And there is a bigger purpose.
Yeah.
There is a bigger purpose. So, not to advertise anything, but, join Julie and Linda on the mastermind and, join us as this happens. But more importantly, know you have a purpose. You're probably living a purpose now you don't even have the full understanding of, and then just grow and go from there. So,
yeah. Well, and I particularly wanted to talk about purpose and significance, and Sterling alluded to the mastermind coming up, because just because of my own journey. So I had been in a job that I loved, but got fired from it. And it kind of put me in a great tailspin, because I was like, I just didn't want to go back into that kind of environment. And then I was lost as far as finding my purpose and what really life was supposed to be about. Because it's like, I thought it was about my job. And then all of a sudden I didn't have that job anymore. So then it's like, well, okay, well, what do I do? And, I kind of fell into the next career, but I got fired from one of those jobs too, kind of quickly. And you think, like, there's a part that you start thinking that, man, I must be a bad person to be getting fired all these times, and I've got no purpose in life. And I mean, I was in a real tailspin. Sterling talks about self-worth. I was in a huge tailspin about self-worth and thinking that I was very lost. And it's one of the reasons why I am passionate to create connections coast to coast to help build communities of leaders, because I think there are more people out there that are in that kind of tailspin that I was, who maybe are out there looking for something. And there are things that just have helped me along the way in finding connection and getting out of that tailspin or that funnel. I often talk about it, that it's in the funnel and that you're kind of on the top, and at some point you just kind of fall off, and it's a slippery slope, trying to climb your way back out of that funnel. So that's one of the reasons why I am a huge proponent of these masterminds and getting in community and finding things to help you find significance. Because the thing I know about every single person, either in speed networking tonight or every single person in the world, is that you're here for a purpose, and that you can find that purpose. You can find significance. And Linda and I are doing a mastermind coming up about finding the power of significance and finding purpose in your life and how that will change. And one of the things that kind of is unique about the mastermind that we're doing is that although it's a book study and it's 6 weeks and there's 6 chapters in the book, we're trying something else different because of how much it worked in my own life. And this has just been my own journey, because, Linda is what did you call yourself? A change life coach?
A personal growth coach.
A personal growth coach. So I've had personal growth coaches that have said to me, it's just change your mind. If you have the right mindset, it will work, and all this stuff. And they've told me all these things. And I'm like, I still sit there and think that I am worthless. But I tried something different recently, and that's why we're putting it into this mastermind. And I'll just show you here. It's this little roller ball that includes essential oils and its purpose. There are different oils that you put in it, and it helps you find your purpose. So I tried this, and it made such a huge difference in my life that Linda and I go, let's do a purpose mastermind, include this purpose essential oil that you'll put on yourself twice a day. And I've been amazed, simply amazed, about how it helped me come out of that self-worth hole that I was in. So I want to say to anybody watching tonight or any other time, if you know anybody who struggles with self-worth and self-image and finding that power, that purpose in their life, tell them to come join our mastermind. It's only 6 weeks. You'll get a book and oil. So this is the book. There's a book called The Power of Significance. You'll get this little essential oil. and just try it, because I want to say it has made such a huge difference in my life. So that's the one mastermind that we're offering, Finding Purpose. There's another one that Sterling and I are doing called Developing the Leader Within You. You don't get an oil with that one, sorry. But both of these masterminds are going to be talked about. You can find more about them in the expo booth tonight. So on the side of your Hopin platform, there's this main stage. By now, the speed networking is live, so you can go do speed networking. But you can also, at any time, go to the expo booth and just check them out. So there'll be one on the power of significance and finding purpose, which is the mastermind that Linda and I are doing, where you get this amazing little oil that will help you in your journey to find purpose. And then there's another one there called Developing the Leader Within You, which is the one Sterling and I are doing. They're starting early in September, so there's lots of time to sign up and learn more about them. And we'll also send a follow-up email that has all the information in about how you can learn more about the masterminds for tonight. So it'll be great to connect with any of you during speed networking tonight. All of us will be available. Me and Sterling and Linda will be in speed networking. So please connect with us at some point during speed networking, because we'd love to talk with you. Is there anything else you guys would like to say as follow-up about finding purpose and the masterminds coming up?
You're going to probably have a hard time believing this, but I do. And it's, again, something that related to what Julie said. Purpose and identity are two different things. And when we look at our identity, we look at our identity on a very surface level, but our purpose is way deeper. And it takes us to change our identity to find our purpose.
Yes.
And that can be a huge, huge discussion. So it's just when we identify with a job, with a position, with a place in life, that's not, again, really step back. That may not be our purpose. We may be influencing or doing things in a far other way. And we have to stand back and look at it, or have someone help us look at it to see where we're really making a difference in this world, where our purpose is really shining.
Yeah. Linda, do you have some?
Yeah, I was just listening to an audio book on my my drive, and something that Sterling said was something that was mentioned in the book. Remind people that there are no just a jobs. There is no such thing. You are not just at anything, and that everything that we do matters.
Yeah. I recently had a discussion with people about how it goes on the just at, but also only, to kind of get that word only. I only do this, or I'm only doing this, right? Just to get it out of our vocabulary. So anyway, it'll be great to talk to everybody during speed networking. Glad you could join us tonight.